Hello, and welcome to another video, another day, another dollar, another rhyme, a shot caller, however the dean says it in Community. If you haven't seen the TV show Community, you're not doing yourself a favor. You should check it out. It's so much fun. It's one of my comfort shows anyway. I love it. I think there's a lot wrong with it, sure. There's a lot wrong with a lot of things, but overall, in general, that show is awesome. I kind of just wanted to talk about that, about making movies and TV shows and stuff, and how, I've always thought about trying to break into it, and a little part of me is really glad I never got famous or popular or anything, because I feel like if it would have happened at a younger age, I would have definitely been more susceptible to fame and getting blindsided by popularity. I would have been one of those kids, and I know I would have been one of those kids, because as a teenager, I was very heavily conservatively Christian, and I hated everything that wasn't straight white, and I just know that if I would have ever achieved popularity or fame, it would have gotten to me, and I would have been that guy, that child actor or whoever who grows up to be a complete flaming asshole. So I'm kind of glad that never happened. It's also why I'm kind of nervous about ever putting in effort into a lot of these videos and stuff that I make, because I don't want to be the leader. I don't want to be. I don't really want to be a streamer and stuff. Not that it's not hard to be careful what you say, but that's also something else you got to do when you stream. Is you got to be really careful what you say and do. Not that I don't on these videos either, but if I end up saying something that maybe is a little too much, or I'm not vibing with it or something, I could just delete the video and start again. And like I said, I don't put a lot of effort into these, which is pretty obvious. These videos aren't meant to be cinematic. I'm not making these videos in 4K and stuff. It's just something that I do. It's vlogging, sort of. I guess I'm doing vlogging wrong. I think I talked about this in a video of mine. I'm kind of doing vlogging wrong, because a vlog is supposed to be like your day-to-day stuff, and that's not necessarily what I talk about. So I've thought about changing what I call these. As I said in that video, I used to call them Thoughts with Mark, and I don't know, I just didn't vibe crazily with me. So I just kind of do it. Sometimes they'll get a couple of views, sometimes they won't. It's okay. But I've always wanted to direct something. A movie, a TV show, even just an episode of a TV show, a music video. I have a couple friends who are in bands, and maybe one of these days I can let them, or convince them to let me make them a music video. I would just like to have at least one credit to my name. Kind of how I feel with music. I'd like to have at least one album out there that's mine, that I can say I worked on that. I know I have music up on my YouTube and stuff, but they're not polished. There's stuff I threw together in GarageBand or Ableton. They don't have the greatest sound. Sometimes the volume isn't great, the singing isn't great. There's one on there that's literally just about me discovering my sexuality, and it's just random babble lyrics, kind of stupid lyrics, but it's kind of just for the fun, for shits and giggles, and I would like to have an actual full-length album one of these days of my music, or at least music that I worked hard to make. I have probably over 200 songs written lyrically. I've recorded a couple thousand actually, but I've deleted most of them. I'm one of those artists who, when you're writing or drawing something, if you're not feeling it, you crumple it up and throw it away, and that's what I do with some of my videos I post. I just crumple it up and throw it away. If I'm not proud enough of it, or I don't think it's worth revamping or reworking, I usually get rid of it. The stuff I have up there now, I like most of it. The 2 new ones I posted, I haven't given them the old car listen. I like to listen to them in my car, and if I think they sound good, I'll keep them up. If I think they sound bad, I delete them immediately. And that's weird too, because when I listen to them at home, after I've recorded them, they sound fine. I think it's just something the way they do when they export. The way they bounce to an MP3 must be different or something, because they sound completely different when I upload them to YouTube. I need to pay a little more attention to what sounds different. Maybe I can start working on that a little bit more. Because, like, when I work on them at home, everything sounds big and loud and full of volume. But sometimes when I upload them to YouTube, sometimes the drums will just be completely drowned out. Sometimes the drums will be the loudest thing. It's never consistent, and I'm not exactly sure why. I'll have to work on that more. I would love to be able to have a band. Even if I'm not like the lead singer, that's perfectly fine. If I could get a band going and they were willing to work with me on these songs and have somebody else maybe sing the songs, I'd be happy with that. Just some of these songs I've written, like Sally's Sludge Factory, that was one of the first songs I ever actually recorded. I recorded that one probably 3 years ago, but I did it on GarageBand, and it was slower than I wanted it to be, which actually made sense to me, because I've always thought of sludge metal as like this low-tuned, slow, chuggy kind of sound, and that's kind of why the name is Sally's Sludge Factory. But the song is kind of about like my humanity and my thoughts on like why I exist and should I exist and stuff, and giving up on a lot of stuff how I was raised. Like one of the lyrics is pretty much the opening lyrics is can't remember my own song. I'm surrounded by the ones I couldn't kill, did not do it even though I needed the thrill. Moored by duties, now there's a target on my back. An eye for an eye, will never get my life back. Kind of like turning my back on joining the military and stuff, and not going into law enforcement and stuff because I didn't want to kill and I didn't want to be responsible for authority and what have you. So that's kind of what those lyrics entail. Looks like they're doing road work and there's no signs. Yeah, nice. That's cool. But yeah, man, I want to have an album out there that I can call my own. And I want it polished too. I don't want it. I like raw. Like, there's some albums that I love because they sound very raw and not super filtered and stuff, and I like that. But I know I'm not good enough as a musician to really have that and make it sound good. And not everybody's into that either, so I want to have something that's more polished and more refined that I can call my own, even if it means working with a band. I'd realistically like to do it myself. I would love to make the album myself and do all the production and stuff myself. But I'm perfectly content and happy working with people on it. In fact, the dream of Avila Beach, the whole purpose of Avila Beach, I always had this dream I wanted to be like the Gorillaz. And what I mean by that is the Gorillaz always get a lot of guest features on their songs. I always wanted to do something like that with rock and metal, but also like country and pop and stuff. I'm not in disagreement with any one specific genre too much. I'm happy to record something in that genre. And I always had this thought, like, maybe I'd have, I mean, he's not alive now, but let's just say for theory's sake, the album, one song will be Johnny Cash. The next song will be, I don't know, Eminem. The song after that's going to have maybe, I don't know, Garrett Russell from Silent Planet. It's just going to be features. And it'll have my own original music too that doesn't involve features, kind of like how the Gorillaz do it. But that was the dream of Avila Beach. That was what I wanted to do with the band, was make it to where I could cooperate with anyone, collaborate with anyone, including instrumentally too. Like if one day I got really lucky and could get like fucking Mick Gordon on a song, that would be hella cool. Or Chris Turner on drums. Or I don't know, one of the songs I thought of one day would be cool to have like Lindsey Sterling come and do violin. Like that's what I wanted Avila Beach to be. I didn't want it to be locked down to one genre. Because me, myself, an enjoyer of music, a listener of music, I don't lock myself to one genre. I listen to just about anything. And I'm not one of those that, just about anything, I'll bet you don't listen to this. Like, I'll give everything a try. If I don't like it, I don't like it, but I'll at least give it a try. Hell, one of my like guilty pleasures is Satoken. I think that's how you pronounce it. I think they're Siberian folk. And it's folk music. Like old school, like what you would hear back in the day kind of music. I dig it. You know, if I like it, I like it. If it's got a good beat, I like it. That was supposed to be Avila Beach's purpose. I still want it to be, but until I get like a band or something going on, that might be harder to do. I doubt I'm going to get to collaborate just myself. I mean, I only have like 140 people following me on YouTube, and half of those are probably bots. But you know, I'm not going to give up the dream, not easily anyways. I've had my doubts, but I don't know, man. I want to have stuff out there. I want to at least show that I've tried in this world. So I want to have an album that I can call my own. I want to have a directing credit, maybe even a production credit or a writing credit or something, or maybe all of the above. Maybe one day.